welcome back to another Artifact Corner. Today we will be looking at a small silver box. It has decoration on the top depicting two birds and an urn with flowers and vines. This is a snuff box. We are not sure who this would have belonged to in our family, but taking snuff was very popular in the 18th and 19th centuries. Let's learn a bit more about snuff and snuff boxes. Tobacco was first introduced to the European market in the 1530s following Europeans' discovery of the Americas. The indigenous peoples of the Americas had been using tobacco for tens of thousands of years. Here is an account from the Spanish explorer Bartolomé de las Casas from the late 1400s. Men with half-burned wood in their hands and certain herbs to take their smokes, which are some dry herbs put in a certain leaf, also dry, like those the boys make on the day of the Passover of the Holy Ghost. And having lighted one part of it, by the other they suck, absorb, or receive that smoke inside with the breath, by which they become benumbed and almost drunk, and so it is said they do not feel fatigue. These muskets, as we will call them, they call tobaccos. John Hawkins brought tobacco to England in the mid-1500s, and they began to grow their own. This cultivation in England was short-lived, though. King Charles II banned tobacco from being grown in Britain in the hopes of promoting settlement in the colonies, particularly in Virginia. With the introduction of tobacco to Europe, it was ingested in a couple of different ways. It could be smoked with a pipe. Pipes were often fashioned from clay and were relatively inexpensive and considered disposable. Snuff is a fine powdered tobacco that is inhaled or sniffed into the nasal cavity. It was often flavored and delivered a quick nicotine hit through the mucous membrane. If you preferred snuff, you needed something to carry your snuff in, hence the snuff box. The snuff box was also a way to show off your wealth. The wealthy of Europe had some of the most elaborate and highly valuable snuff boxes. Some were truly works of art. Americans also loved their snuff, and for a while it was more popular than smoking tobacco. Here is a quote of a book, Snuff and Snuff Takers, from 1846, which describes the process of taking snuff. Give it, meaning the snuff box, 3 distinct taps, and apply a portion of the contents to your nose with an artificial cough consisting of one long pectoral ahoo. Gently flap off the scattered particles from your frill with the knuckles of your right hand. Take out your handkerchief with a theatrical swing. Snuff went out of fashion in the mid-19th century with the introduction of mass-produced cigarettes and cigars. And so, snuff boxes fell out of favor and became relegated to antique shops. Today, however, they can be very collectible, depending on what they are made of. Our snuff box is in good shape, and the decoration on the top is just lovely. We would feel remiss if we did not say snuff and smoking are dangerous, so please think twice before starting either. Our box is an interesting piece of the history of tobacco use, and we are so lucky to have it in our collections. Thanks so much for stopping by.